Hello, welcome to another episode of the Power of Choosing podcast.
Today's episode was inspired by a poem called She Let Go by Sapphire Rose.
Yes, so I heard it for the first time last week when I was at a mother's blessing, which is like a baby shower, but mainly showering the mother with love. It's really nice. I've been to 3 since I moved to Bristol. I feel like I've accepted my hippiness and I keep getting invited to hippie events. That's another topic. Yeah, so you're showering the mother with love and words and strength just in time for the birthing of their baby and then early motherhood. And someone came with that poem and it just really resonated with me. She let go. And it goes on. She didn't journal before, she just let go. She didn't talk it through. She didn't make a big fanfare about it. She didn't do lots of things. She just let go. And it made it seem so simple. And a lot of what we talk about is simple. And it's not always easy. It's this, are we putting too many layers in front of doing what we want, having the life we want? And what things could we just let go?
Yes.
Let go of worries that we don't need to be holding on to. I've got a friend and she worries if she's not worried about something, or letting go of being someone you're not, or letting go of things you can't control. And there's all these things that we hold on to and we think it's fine. And then we take more. And it's like when, I don't know if you have to pay 5p for a carrier bag now.
I did when I lived in Colorado.
I'm typically one of those people that don't bring a bag, but I will not buy a bag and, harm the environment. So I go in for one thing and I'm like piled up and holding it all until I may drop it and
still not buy a bag.
Absolutely not. And we're just holding on to it until, it's going to drop eventually. If I pick one more pack of biscuits that I don't need, it's all going to spill everywhere. But it's that taking on one more thing. And what in my arms do I not need? What can I let go of? And even just saying it, it's like she let go. And the thing that stuck with me was the letting go of what people think of me. That was the first thought. Could I just let that go? And what would that be like? And try it on and play with it. And is that how simple it is?
It's simple, not easy to apply. It really is simple. So one of the things, as you were sharing the whole holding on to a whole bunch of things, and then is there something I can let go? It really brought up the Camino to me when I was walking it. I was very holding on to all of my emotional stuff. The symbol was to leave a rock and leave it and just let it go. And so there were 3 rocks that I left throughout the course of the Camino de Santiago that were significant to me. And you would walk along the path and you would see people building up rocks and just rocks everywhere, where it was people symbolizing let it go. What can we let go of? A lot, truthfully. Just thinking of that, or at least thinking it for me, there were a couple times I chuckled because there's so much for me to let go that I hold on to, like the worrying. She worries if she's not worrying. There's so much that we hold on to, and it's not necessarily conscious in any way, shape, or form. There is a lot in the subconscious that we think that if we can do certain things, we can actually make an impact, but we're not actually doing things, and we would benefit so much by letting go.
Yeah, and I think it's this illusion, I'm going to say, of control.
Yes.
Because we need to be in control, and control feels safe. It feels like I know what's going to happen next. It's familiar, and it's something to hold on to when things get shaky and everything feels up in the air and we don't know what's happening. And we can justify it. We can justify if I worry about everything, then I'm ready to strike when something does go wrong. Or if I keep trying to be someone I'm not going to lose friends. I'm going to be in my safe place. And we logic it all. And as you say, some of it's subconscious, some of it's we know more about what's going on, but it's all this back to keeping us safe. And
Yes.
in hearing the poem and hearing it in such a repetitive and striking way, it was letting go of a need for safety, even. What actually would happen if I let that go? And the poem just made it seem like it was doable.
Mm-hmm. You were talking about letting go of other people's opinions. When we were talking about this episode, that was part of where we were so inspired by this poem. If you get a group picture, you all look at the same picture at the same time that you're all in. We all look for ourselves. But yet, when we're actually having conversations, thoughts, whatever the case might be, we're always like, what are they thinking of me? What are they thinking of me? And really, people are worried about themselves before they're thinking of someone else. And it's not meant to be rude. It's the fact that we are all worried or concerned for ourselves rather than we are another person. Typically, there's probably an outlier, so I want to acknowledge that. But for the most part, we really do look for ourselves in everything that we do first. Like, how did that come up? How did this come up? We don't necessarily think of other people.
Yeah. So can we just let that go?
It sounds like something simple to do. And I also know it's not as easy. It's something to play with. It's something to acknowledge that it's coming up and be like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. For me, this episode is like a real, what can you do right now? Like a shedding. So there's going to be things that are really good to journal about. And there's going to be things that are really good to talk to people about and plan and so on and so forth. And we give exercises in other podcasts. And what the message for me of this is, what can we let go of right now that's not serving us? Have we been worrying about something? Like, what's that phrase? I worried about lots of things in my life and most of them never happened.
I don't know the exact phrase, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Is there anything that is taking space in my brain that I can just decide to let go? And it's treating it as a sort of game. What if I decide I'm in control and I can just let go?
To me, it's like, this is about doing versus being. And we're asking people to actually be more in the being aspect than the doing. It's not as fancy. It's not as out there. It's not in a culture that's bigger, better, best. It's not that. It's the letting go of having to be a certain way and just to be who you actually want to be is, for me, what this episode is about. Thinking about moving here, being here in my childhood home and experiencing it, I had a lot of reservations, in all truth. I didn't realize this until I landed here, until I got here. And now that I'm here, I'm just like, oh, this is great. And it's not so much about where I'm at. It's about who I've chosen to be. And I really have let go of this need to keep up with the Joneses. I don't care about the Joneses. I don't even like the Joneses. I am me and I'm happy. And it's a decision I made. It's a decision that I'm embracing everything. So pulling it back and wanting the listeners to take away something is, we think it's our circumstances constantly. We think it's what is happening to us. And it's not about what is happening to us. It's about how we view what's happening to us. Actually, moving into the house already, there's something I have to fix and take care of, and it's going to be expensive and all of these things. And so it was a blip. I haven't really thought about it since, because I'm like, okay, we're going to have a house that's very safe and up to date and secure and this and that. And so it really is, your circumstances don't impact. It's how you view the circumstances that really make a huge difference. And also, going back to the whole topic of this, really help you be able to let things go. So I could get stuck up in the circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 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 yes. It's all about how we view things, because I always think this, there are people going through exactly the same thing as you,
Yep,
and what they choose into makes the reality and what happens completely different.
totally.
And we're human, so we're all going to go through shit times, we're going to go through good times. And it really is the way you can respond to things and the way you can let go and move past things that you don't need to hold on to. That's the difference between whether we're happy, sad, stuck, moving. It's all down to the decisions we make.
Mm-hmm.
It comes up quite a lot when I play squash, because squash is such a mind game. It's so interesting. You think it's just a sport, and whatever level you're playing at, your mind is in there with you. I played someone last week that I knew from like the warm up that I could probably beat them. I was better than them. I'd been playing longer, whatever it is. Weird that I was like, oh, can't say I'm better than him. That just note, the being human, can't brag thing came up. Anyway, but I noticed that I was more nervous playing someone that it was expected that I beat than last week when I played someone that was better than me and there was nothing to lose. And I'm just playing squash. And it really doesn't matter if I win, if I lose. And
Right.
it's a game of squash. It doesn't matter in the big picture, but in terms of what we're letting our head like run with
Mm-hmm.
is our choice.
Mm-hmm. I know that you're saying it's just squash, but at the same time, I'm thinking it is a representation of other things, because I have a firm belief of how you show up anywhere is how you show up everywhere. So the representation of squash or whatever sport you play is what's going on with you there is probably going on elsewhere. And not even a probably, it is. So using that as an example, when you're out in daily life, I'm not saying this is you, I'm saying this is.
No, I feel like I'm like, ooh, I'm being life coached here. Like, is this how I show up?
Yeah, if you go into the world and you have this mentality of it doesn't matter, how do you show up? Or if you have this, oh, I've got to win, this is an easy one, how do you show up? So squash is a really interesting thing, or sports are a really interesting thing because they are a representation of how you show up elsewhere. So great example.
Yeah, and now you put it in these terms, I'm like, ooh, I do love to surprise people. So I can see how that's run through my life of, oh, if I play a bit small, or if I'm not fully showing up and then I do something and everyone's like, wow, that was amazing. It's safe, isn't it? It's that people aren't expecting anything of me. And then boom, I can do something amazing and everyone's like, wow, look what you did.
Yeah.
And actually you could do that all along. I just wasn't letting on.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I love when you have, or I have, aha moments as we're recording. It's really awesome because it's true though. And so going back to the phrase, like how you show up anywhere is how you show up everywhere. So once again, going back to the friend who worries if she's not worrying, that's how she's choosing to show up. And how would she benefit if she just even gave a concept to like letting the worry go? One way I shift out of that for people, instead of worrying, if you switch it over to concern, it's actually a way better way to approach it, because worry makes it about you. Concern makes it about the other person. So a lot of times when we're worried, I'm worried and I think I'm doing something because I'm worried, and I get to feel like a martyr and I get to feel like I'm doing something, but it's not about you. If you're worrying about someone else, it's about them, whereas concern is going to be more compassionate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then where can I like let go of an image of having to be anything and let go that it even has to matter.
Yeah.
Why show up? Because people are going to make assumptions about you anyway.
Absolutely.
And I read a post someone did on Facebook before, and it was really interesting. And he'd gone to some sort of convention, and they didn't really know each other, and they got everyone to write a few words about what they think when they see this person.
Okay.
So everyone passed the paper around and wrote different things. And he was commenting on how some people had said he's really shy, and some people had said he's really loud and joyful or whatever. Some people had said really serious. Some people had said always smiling. And whatever someone had said, someone else had said the opposite. So people, I guess, see you to fit their narrative.
Mm-hmm.
All we can do is keep showing up as our authentic self to everyone we meet and let go of how we think other people are seeing us, because that's all made up in their world to fit their worldview anyway.
Absolutely. I love that, because that is a perfect example of people seeing him, and there were opposites with it. What I love about that is they're seeing what's within them for the other person, and they don't see it that way. So it's like, when I see you, what are you drawing out that I think, oh, I love that attribute of you? It's usually something I also possess, or something I actually don't like about myself. So that is very interesting. We see it from within and we see it as someone else. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. What I think all this boils down to is it's all made up anyway. And the let go is like, why not? Why not let go of things that are not serving us? Because we get to choose and we get to make it up.
Well, also too, going with the making things up, like, why do we always make up doom? Why don't we make up really great things that happen? It's always the thought process. And I'm guilty of this. I have a tendency to go to the doom, but why don't I make up some really great stuff that's happening? Because that would benefit me even more than the doom.
She let go. He let go. What would happen if we all just let go?
Free. I feel the free that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming to another episode of The Power of Choosing,
Where today we talked about letting go.